Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'm going to be sharing to you guys how to go ahead in creating a basic attendance system with Django Python. So a basic attendance system just means that a user can log into an account, can sign up and log into an account, and when he or she attends class, he or she be marked present, and the admin, like the school teacher, class teacher, or the principal, can go ahead and see that this student attended class by this exact time, or this specific user attended class by this exact time. So I got this suggestion from one of my subscribers like about 3 weeks ago, and he asked me I should build one. So I was really busy those days, and like about 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, so I was really busy, and now I am a bit free and I can go ahead and shoot a video. So please stick around and let's get started. So okay, here I have my my folder where I keep some of my Django projects, and over here I'm going to go ahead and open up a command prompt window or a terminal or a PowerShell window. So now that I've opened it up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do pip install Django. That is if you have not installed Django before. So you can go ahead and install Django by typing pip install Django in your terminal and tap enter. But I already have mine installed, so what I'm going to basically do is I'm just going to go straight to the point in creating a Django project. So how you can go about creating a Django project is that you can simply just do that by typing Django admin. So it's going to be Django admin, and I'm going to do start project, and I'm going to specify the name of the project that I'm going to give the project. So I'm going to name it let's say attendance system, or a basic attendance system. So I'm naming it attendance system, and I'm going to tap enter, and here you're going to see that it's going to go ahead and create a folder here that is called attendance system. So in a while now we're waiting, and you're going to see that it's going to open up one, and as you can see over here, it has attendance system. So that is the new project that he created for us. And here I'm just gonna go ahead and create an app. So basically when you're creating a folder in Django or a project in Django, a project consists of apps. So like you have the users app, or apps just like a folder that just care of a particular part in your project. So that's what it basically is. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna do cd into attendance system. So first of all, I have to enter this directory of the attendance system. So I'm gonna do cd. So I'm gonna copy this first. So I want to do cd attendance system. So I'm gonna tap enter, and here I am in this directory right now. So in this directory you can see attendance system. Again, you can see the manage.py file, and inside attendance system you can see init and all these files here. So right here in this directory, which we are right now in our terminal, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in python manage.py, which is this manage.py file here, and I'm going to do startup. I'm going to do startup, and here I'm going to type in the name of the app. So I'm going to name it, let's say, users app. So I'm going to name it users app here. So now I'm going to go ahead and open this folder, which is in my main project. I'm going to go ahead and open it up in our Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to go to Visual Studio Code. I'm going to go here, open my folder. So you can use any text editor you use, but I prefer Visual Studio Code, and that is one I've been using for a while. I'm going to go to desktop and Python project, my Django projects, and attendance system. So I'm going to open it up here, and while it's opening, let's go back to our folder here, and let's see if it has actually created the app for us. So I can see you already have users app here, and it's run successfully. So now let's go to our Visual Studio Code, and it's still loading right now. So now that is open, and here you can see the attendance system, you can see the users app, and you can see the manage.py. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to go to users app, and I'm going to go to the apps.py, which is under the users app or the users folder. So here you can see class users config, and I'm going to go ahead and copy this. So I'm going to copy it to my clipboard, and now that I've copied it, I'm going to close users folder, and I'm going to go to the attendance system, and here attendance system, you can see settings.py. So in the settings.py, I'm going to scroll down to where you're going to see installed apps. So you can see installed apps here, and here I'm going to add an app, which is going to be users.apps.user.config, which is what we copied. So the users here, you just have to specify the name of the app you're adding right now. So this is users app, and .app is trying to say that it is like an app, and here users config is the one that we copied from the apps.py. It's just like the configuration of the app, and that is done there. And now we're going to go to our users app here, our users folder. So what we want to do is, since we're dealing with a users attendance system, a student attendance system, that means that we have to have users. You have a user has to have the can have the privilege to log in, to register an account, or to log out. So that is why we created this users app, to give it that functional and the function to the website. So here in my users app, I'm going to go ahead and create a file called forms.py. So this forms.py is going to be the Python file, which is going to handle all the is going to handle the registration of the new user. So let's say I'm a new user, I want to go to the website, I want to sign up, and I want it to store it in my database. What I'm going to simply do is I'm going to be given a form, like the website is going to give me a form, and I'm going to fill it up. So that is what we want. We want to let the user have a form. So that is what we're going to be doing in this forms.py file. So here, what I'm going to do for the first thing is I'm going to do from Django.contrib, from Django.contrib.auth.models. I want to import user. So this is going to import the user model for us, and this comes from Django itself. So it's going to provide us with the user model, so we can do any configuration to the user model or anything like that. So now, since we're dealing with a registration form, Django has provided us with a basic registration class, kind of like that. So how we can import that is that we're going to say from Django.contrib.auth.forms. I want to import. I'm going to see user creation form. So I'm going to import user creation form, as you can see over here. So now that we have everything that we need, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to do from, let's say well, actually let me just create a class, which is going to be the main class we want to do now, and I'm going to name the class user register form. So I'm going to name the class user register form. Now that we have named the class, it's going to inherit from this user creation form. So we want it to inherit from that user creation form. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some basic changes to the to that class user creation form that Django's provided us. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a class method. So method is just used to change like a class that it's been inherited from. Method is just to change the behavior of a class. So that's what we want. We want to change the behavior of the class. So how we can do that, and the first thing we're going to need is we're going to do model. So we're going to create a variable model, and model is going to be equal to the user. This is user. So what we want is that we want the specific model to be the user. So whenever we create a form, we want it to be saved into this user's model or stuff like that. I hope that you guys got what I'm saying. So now here I'm gonna do fields. So I'm gonna create a variable fields, and fields is actually gonna be a list, and the list is gonna be the list that we're gonna provide it with. So we can, let's say when you go to your website, they're gonna ask you for your username, the username you want to use, your email, and your password, like your password 1, which is gonna be like the password that you enter, and password 2 is gonna be the one that you're gonna re-enter to check if you actually type down the correct password you wanted to use. So the first field is going to be the username, and here the second field is going to be your password 1. So password 1 is just the first one, and the second one is going to be the password, or the third one is going to be the password 2. So this actually means that this is the password 2, and it's going to ask you to re-enter the password just like that. So now that we're done with our forms.py, I'm going to go here to my views.py under the users app, and here I'm going to do from dot forms. From dot forms, I want to import user. Okay, actually from dot forms, I want to import. I didn't type the import, so from dot forms, I want to import user register form. So this is the user register form that we created over here. So now that we've imported that into our views.py, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a class register. So I'm going to create a class register, and register is going to take the parameter request, and that means that this is just the request that comes with the views. Whenever you're creating a view, so you have to add the request. When you're creating a function in the views, you have to add the request there. And now that we've actually this is supposed to be a function, and now that I've created a function register, what we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do is to make a condition. So we're going to say if request dot method is double equal to post. So we want to check if the request we're getting is a post request. So that means that, like, for example, what does it mean to make a post request? It's just like, for instance, you want to transfer a file from your computer or from a local device to the server or to the website. That is a post request, because you're posting something to the server. And let's say like something like a get request, that means that you're retrieving something from the web. So like a post request is something like uploading. You're uploading a file to the website, or you're uploading, let's say, a blog post to the website. And retrieving means that you're retrieving something. Let's say retrieving a file, or just downloading something, like retrieving. Yeah. So that is actually a get request, and a post request is transferring something from a local computer to the server or to the website. So that is a post request. So that means that if we get a post request, that means that the user is giving the website something. Then if that is true, what I want to do is I want to create a variable form, and I want form to be equal to this user register form over here. So that means we're going to do here, and here I'm going to do the request. So it's going to take a parameter request.post. So that means that we want to create a form, and the form is going to be this user register form, and it's going to take a request dot post. So it's going to have a post request. So that means that the form is actually going to be a form that the user has already filled up. Yeah. So here I'm going to do if form dot is valid. So I'm going to check if the form is actually valid. So what does the valid means is that, just like, for example, let's say the user has already written the username, done the password one, and it's correct. The password 2 is correct, matches with the password 1, and everything is good. So that means that's the condition we want to make. So if the user actually filled up everything correctly, and he didn't use someone else's username that has already been registered with the website, he can go forward. So that means that everything is perfectly okay. So if that is true, what I want to do is I'm going to say form dot save. So I want to go ahead and save the form. And where is this saving to? It is saving to this user's model, which is the model that we specified here, user. So that means it is saving to the user model. So if that is true, it's going to go ahead and save it. So that is what we want. So here I'm going to add a else condition, which is in the same line or the same format with this request.post. So that means, like, let's say for example we're getting a get request from the user. That means we want to get something from the user, and what we want to get from the user is the form. So first of all, here that means that we're already been provided with the form to fill, and we've filled it and we're posting it to the website. So we want to give the website. And let's say here we don't have our form. So how can we get the form? So what we're going to do is going to create a variable form, which is just the same form here. And here this time I'm going to make the form to be equal to user register form. But here we're not passing user request.post. Here we're actually asking the internet or our website or the server to give us the form to fill. So that is what we want. And here I'm going to do return. So that means that after all those conditions, I'm going to return render, and here I'm going to pass in request as the first parameter, and here I'm going to pass in users slash register.html. so that's going to be the name that I'm going to give the file which I want to render it to. So like, let's say for example, when you go to your internet or to a website, you visit a website, what's going to be displayed is with a web page or something like here. Let's say basic web page here, which are just asking me to, like, say type something which is just the Google web page in your web browser. So if I've been provided with that kind of thing, you have to fill in something. So you have to be provided with a web page for the user to see what the internet or what the website is asking from the person. So that is here. We want to render it out to a web page or to a .html file, so that the user can be able to see what he or she is doing. So here I'm going to add a comma, and here I'm going to put this dictionary or curly braces. So that means that I want to give the web page some information. So let's say the web page wants to make use of the form. So how am I going to give it to the web page? What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the dictionary, and here I'm going to specify the key, and here I'm going to specify the value form. So whenever the user or the web page wants to refer to this form, what it's just gonna do is just gonna type form, and it's gonna give it this variable here. So I can change this name to whatever I want, and whenever I call this name that I specified here, it's gonna go ahead and reference it to this form here. So here I'm just gonna leave it for form, just to make it easier for you guys to understand. And now that I've left that there, I'm gonna go to this my users folder, which we are in right now, and in this users I'm going to create a folder, and the folder is going to be template. So now that it's template, inside this template folder, I'm going to create another folder called users. So these users has to be the same name with the web page you're working on right now. So let's say with the app you're working on. So this is user. So let's say I was working on an app, and the app that the template is under is, let's say it is a main app. So this template has to be template/main app. So you have to give that other folder inside the template the same name with the app you're working on. So now inside these users, like the template user, I'm going to create an HTML file, which is going to be register.html. So this register.html is going to be the HTML file that I want to render out here. So here I specify the name register.html, and that is going to be the file. So inside this register.html, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create the basic HTML tags that we need. So here's going to be the HTML, and here's going to be the head tag, and here is going to be the body tag, and I'm going to do the closing body tag, and that's it. So this is just the basic thing for our HTML that we're going to need. And in the head tag, the first I'm just going to do is going to give it a title. So the title is going to be, let's say, register. So that's just going to be the title there. And the body tag, what I'm going to do is here I'm going to do a h1 tag. And now that is done, I want to give the user the account, the form. So here, as I told you guys, that I specified this so that the web page will be able to make use of the form. So whenever we call form, it's going to reference it to this form, the real form here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do these curly braces 2 times, and here I'm going to specify the form, which is this form here, the name that we gave it. So the form, and now that is done, this is just done for like the basic HTML path or basic. Okay, what I'm going to do is underneath, instead of rendering the form out like that, I have to put it under a form tag in HTML. So I'm going to do form. This comes with HTML, and I believe that you guys know a bit of HTML. And here I'm going to move this here. So this form is going to be rendered out in a form style, like in a form tag. And here in Django, whenever you're dealing with a form tag, you have to add CSRF token, which is just used for security reasons, which I don't know, but that's how Django made it to be. And here after the form we want to give the user like a button to submit. So here we can just do like button, and button is gonna be just say submit. So that's gonna be the text on the button, so let's submit. And now that is done, now we want to access it on our web browser. So how we can access it is just to go to our users here, so to our attendance system, and go to our urls.py. So in this urls.py, I'm going to add include here. So include. So now that I've added include here, that is from the import, and from here we're going to create another path just like the path that is here. And when I do that path here, I'm going to specify, I'm just gonna leave it blank there. So that means that whenever we just go to our website and let's say do like google.com/something, that is what is happening here. So whenever we go to our domain name and we type something like let's say blah 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 /admin, is gonna take us there. So this actually comes with the urls.py itself. So this is what we want to do here. So remember that the comma has to be here for it to work, because this is under a list. Okay, at the import we have to import something. We want to do from Django.contrib.auth.views. I want to import views as let's say we're going to import it as auth view or auth views. Yeah. So since we're dealing with the register page, I think it would be better to make the URL be like your domain name /register. So it's going to take you to the register page, and to do that we're just going to add register there and this / there. So now that is done, here I'm going to add this comma here, which I've added here, and here I'm going to do from users views, which is our views.py file there. I want to import register. So here that we're going to import our register, and this I just imported it just for the login and logout view. So let's say when a user wants to log in or wants to log out, we're going to need this over here, so that's why I just imported it. But that's going to be the next step we're going to go after we're done with this register page. So here I'm going to add register, which is this register over here. So now that is done, I'm just going to add the comma there, and I think it's giving us an error. So I guess that is fine. So here I'm going to open up our terminal, and here I want to start the server. So that is to let us access it on our internet. So now we can just go to our local host and access it. So here while our terminal is opening, okay, here is giving us an error. So I don't know what the error. No name in module. For real. So okay. So it's from Django.contrib.auth. So here, now that we have our terminal open, what I'm going to do is I want to type in python manage.py, and here I want to run server. So this is going to go ahead and run the server for us. So now that we have done that, that means that we can now access it through here. So here it has given it to us, and here you can see starting development server at HTTP this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to go to my Chrome, which is the web browser I'm using right now, and here I'm going to go ahead and paste it. So now you can see that it has taken us to the development server, and here when we go to the development server, we can see request not found, and here you can see like admin. So we can, these are the available URLs we can go to /admin and /register. So I'm going to go to the register to show you what we have done, and you're going to see that it's not going to be like very fine, which the You can see that the layout is very bad and things like that. So you can see the submit button that we added over here. So you can see the submit button and stuff like that. So you can see our register account, which was the h1 tag we added there, and this is the form that we created in our forms.py, which I just included as form here. So you can see that is what we pass into our web page there to make use of, and this is just it. So now we're gonna go ahead and create the login, the logout page and stuff like that. So first of all, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my command prompt here, and here I'm gonna show you guys something. So I'm gonna go to python manage.py and I want to type in shell. So this is just gonna create a shell for us. So as you can see over here, so now that we're in the shell, what I want to do is I'm gonna make this bigger. So in our shell over here, I'm gonna do from Django .contrib .out .models. I want to import our user. So here I want to import the user model, which I explained to you guys how to import, and this is just how to import it. That means if you didn't understand how we imported it, so we go from Django.contrib.out.models, and there we can import users. So here what I'm gonna do is I want to type in user.objects.all. So this is gonna go ahead and display the number of users that we have. Okay, not such table as out user. So that means that we have to create our migrate command. So I think there's gonna be python manage.py, and here we're gonna type in migrate. Yeah, migrate. It's still working. And now that it's done, I'm gonna go back to our command prompt here, and I'm gonna type in the same thing that we wrote before. And as you can see, user objects.all, and here you can see query set is empty. So that means that we don't have any user in our database right now. So I just wanted to do that to show you guys that we don't have any user here. So here I'm gonna go ahead and create a new user for us. So I'm gonna name it Branson, and if you don't know, my name is Branson. And password, I'm gonna give it a password. So, and here I'm gonna give another password, and here I'm gonna type in submit, and now it has submitted it. So to confirm, I'm gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna type in python manage.py shell. So what I did was I just cleared the window here because there's just so much stuff there, and I'm gonna import the same thing that I did here. So from Django.contrib.out the models, I'm gonna import user, and here we're gonna check if it has actually changed. So before you saw that the list was empty, and here you can see that user Branson. So it has created a new user for us, and that is working perfectly fine there. Here it's working perfectly fine there. So what I did was I ran into an issue there. So what I just found out that I didn't add the method post. So just remember to add this method post there. So yeah, so now that is done, I'm gonna go back here to our URLs. So now we want to have the functionality to register and log out. So like for example, here we have our localhost/register, and this is gonna take us to the register page, and here we want to do the same thing, but here we want to do for the login page. So here I can simply do path, and here I'm gonna do login, so it's gonna be /login, and here I'm gonna add out views, which is the views here that we imported over here before, and out views, and here I'm gonna put .login view, and I'm gonna add .as view. So here we're going to tell the URLs that it is like a view page, so it's going to have a HTML file. So here I'm going to do template name. So under it I'm going to put template name should be equal to let's say template name should be equal to, let's name it users/login.html. So the same thing we did here for the name, I'm gonna do the same thing here. So I'm gonna give it a name, and here is gonna be the login view, and here I'm gonna copy the same thing that I did for here, and I'm gonna do here for the same thing, but rather instead of here being a login view, it's gonna be a logout view. So I'm gonna do logout view, and here instead of being ./login, it's gonna be /logout, and here which the name is login is gonna be logout and not login. So that's just the basic things we're gonna change. And now that that is done, the HTML file is actually logout. So now that that is done, we have to go ahead and create the HTML file right now. So before going out making the file, I just saw something right now, which is in the errors. Here we're supposed to close this closing tag, the closing bracket, and now I think there's an extra one, so we have to remove this here. Yeah, so that was actually just the issue that is giving me here. So now let's go create our login and logout file. So in our users here, I'm gonna do file, and I'm gonna create a new file, and it's gonna be login.html. So I'm still gonna create the logout file, which is gonna be logout.html. Now that that has been done, I'm gonna go to our register.html, and I'm gonna grab everything over here. Okay, because that was the reason for this slash over here. So I'm gonna copy everything here, paste everything here, and here I'm gonna change the register to login and register an account. So we're gonna change this to login as well. Gonna do login, and this is the same gonna be as form and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go to the logout, I'm gonna copy everything here, the same thing, and here is gonna be logout, and here I'm gonna say you have been logged out. Have been logged out. So here we want to inform the user that the user has been logged out from the account that he or she was previously logged into. And here form, there's not gonna be any submit here, and I don't think there has to be any form here. And yeah, I think that is gonna be everything. And now that that is done, I think we'll have to restart our server. Now I'm gonna go to Chrome, and now in Chrome here I'm gonna go to login. So I'm gonna go to /login, and here you can see the form, and here I'm gonna give the name I created it, I think, with user or Branson. I can't remember the, okay, I created Branson, yeah, it's the username. So I'm gonna do Branson, and password, I'm gonna put in my password. So this was the password. I'm gonna type in submit. So how we can fix this problem, as you can see, this is an issue that here it tells us that page not found, but we have actually been logged in successfully, but it's been redirected to this place, which is account/profile, and this is not in our URL. So I'm gonna fix this in the next video, which is where we're gonna create a new app. Like this is gonna be the attend app, where the user can attend class, and it's gonna be marked present and all that stuff. So there we're gonna be dealing with databases and the models of the PY file, and I'm gonna fix that in the next video. But just know that you have me logged in there, and when I go to /logout, you can see that you have been logged out. So that is telling us that we have been logged out. And let me try entering there again. So now that that is done, in the next video, so I'm gonna add HTML, CSS to style the website and make everything look good and stuff like that. And I guess that this will be it for this video, and please subscribe, and I'll like to see you in the next video. And if you have any feedback or any suggestion, please leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer those. And please like and share to anybody that finds this video useful, and please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.